Welcome back to another Computer Sluggish video. Have you subscribed to my YouTube channel yet? If not, be sure to click on the big red subscribe button and click on the bell to get notified when I upload a new video. And check out my forum at computersluggish.com. In today's video, I will be showing you how to make this Fortnite YouTube banner in Gimp. As you can see, I have two images, one on the left hand side and we have one on the right hand side. And then we got our text in the middle. You can choose whatever images you want to use. You don't even have to use Fortnite images. The images I have used are just an example of what you could make your YouTube banner look like. And the links to these images are on my forum, and also to download this project file. If you are struggling to follow the video, you can download the project file from my website and use it as an example, and then you can make any changes you want to the project file. If you do use this template, then with the text you will actually have to delete the text layers and then create your own text using the text tool. And then once you have done the text, you will then need to use the transform tool to rotate the text, as shown later on in this video. To start off with, first you need to click on the first link that's on my forum and you will end up on a page that looks like this. We now need to scroll down and you now need to click on channel art template. And you now need to click on this link here to download the channel art template. We will need this to create our YouTube banner. Once you have downloaded and extracted that zip folder, you will end up with a channel art template folder. You need to go into this folder and we now need to open up the channel art template fireworks, and you now need to right click and go copy. We now need to open up Gimp and you now need to go file, new, and you now need to type in the dimensions on this image. If I open it up again, we got 2560 by 1440. You now need to type this into the width and height. And you now need to press OK. We now need to go edit, and you now need to go paste. And there we go, we now have our YouTube banner template. And as you can see, we have text in the logo safe area. This is the main section we need to focus on. This is where we will be putting our text, our name that we are using. You now need to click on the green button in the bottom right hand corner to create a new layer with this image. And as you can see, we now have a new layer. We now need to click on our text tool, and you now need to select the colour white and press OK. Oh, I selected black. There we go. And you now need to just click within the text and logo safe area, and you now need to write in the name of your YouTube channel. I'm going to type in Computer Sluggish, and you now need to just press enter. And we now need to select our move tool, and we can just move that over slightly for a second. We don't actually need that text now. The next thing we need to do is select our paintbrush tool. You now need to click on this option here and you need to select the hard brush. And you now want to select size, let's go with a size 10. And you now need to click on the left hand side, make sure you still have the colour white. Oh, and we actually need to create a new layer first. There we go. And we want to click on the left hand side, just click out of the area, and you now need to hold down shift and hold down control and then click again. And we now got a perfectly straight white line. We now want to do the same again at the bottom on this line here. We want to just click there. And then we want to hold down shift and control, and we need to zoom out first. There we go, zoom out a little more and hold down control and shift and then click again. There we go, we have another perfect white line. You now need to click again as well around the center, and then we want to hold down shift, control, and we want to go up at an angle. Cool. That looks good. If I just hide my text for a second. There we go. That looks very, very good. You can mess around with the line to try and get it as center as you want. As you can see, mine's not actually at center. If you create this line here on a new layer, let's just actually control and set that and create a new layer. There we go. And then just click again and go control shift and then do the line. We can then select our move tool and we can then just make it a bit more center. Like so. There we go. Cool. I'm happy with that. The next thing we want to do now is select our text. And we now want to rotate this text, which means we need to go to the top left and we need to select the transform tool. You now need to click on your text. We need to just simply go on the outside of the text and you will see a little rotate symbol by your cursor, and you now need to hold down the left button and just drag up. And I'm happy with that. Once it is rotated, you can press transform. And we can now move that text down slightly to the white line. There we go. And that's perfectly in line. I'm happy with that. The next thing we want to do is actually change the size of the text so it fits in nicely between the white lines, which means we want to go back onto our transform tool and select the text. You now need to just go into the top box here and just simply drag down until you're happy with the size of your text. I need to go down a little bit more. There we go. That looks very good. You now need to press transform, and there we go. The next thing we want to do now is select our text tool again, and we just want to click anywhere. We can now choose more text to go on the other side of the white line. I'm just going to use tutorials, and then I'm going to select my move tool, and we're just going to move it over to the right hand side. We now need to select the transform tool again and just simply click on the text, and we want to go on the outside of the text area and hold down the left mouse button until it rotates, and then we want to move it below the white line and just simply change the size of the text to whatever you want it to be. I think I'm happy with that. That looks pretty decent. There we go. You can now press transform, and there we go. That looks very good. You can just select your move tool and move the text slightly more if you want to. Actually, let's have a think about this. Do I want it there? Actually, I want it a bit more up the top there. There we go. Right, we now have our text on our YouTube banner. The next thing you now need to do is to select the Fortnite images that you want to use. I've got some example ones here that I've used, and you can get the links on my forum to these images. Once you have the images, all you need to do is right click and go copy, and you now need to go back to your YouTube banner, and we now want to go Control and V. You now need to press the green icon down in the bottom right hand corner on the layers window, and we now want to move the image. There we go. And once you're happy with the position, I'm going to actually go over a bit more. There we go. Once you're happy with the position of your image, you then need to start cutting the image out. We need to select our rectangle tool and simply go all the way down to the white line and then press delete. You now need to do the same on the other side and then press delete, and there we go. We now want to cut out the image on the other side of the white line here on the diagonal. I'm going to select my rubber, the eraser on the left hand side, and we're going to change the size, and then we're just going to simply go and remove that part of the image. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. And you have to be a little bit careful when doing this bit, going up the white line, and let's go down that section. Okay, perfect. Cool. I'm happy with that. We have some legs randomly there, but that's fine. Okay, the next thing you want to do is select your next image and go copy, and then we want to go Control and V again to paste it in. We now want to move this to the right hand side. You also need to make sure that the images are below the white lines. If they're not, then you just need to go onto the right hand side on your layers and just simply drag it below the white lines. Once you're happy with the position, you can always resize the images as well. To do this, all you need to do is select your transform tool and then click on the image, and then just simply drag from the corner. And then we can move it over a bit if we want. Okay, I think I'm actually happy with that anyway. You can then press transform, and we have a nice helicopter going down, and then you can see the roof of the base. Once you're happy, you can then press the green down in the bottom right hand corner to create the new layer with the image, and we now need to select our rectangle tool again and just delete off some of that image. There we go, and do the same for the top. And then we want to do the same on the angled part. The easiest way is select your eraser again, and then just gently or carefully remove the image. It's quite hard to see it there. There we go. And let's go down. If you want to zoom in, all you need to do is hold down Control and use the scrolly wheel on your mouse. There we go, and carefully go up and back down. Okay, cool. There we go. We now have our pictures either side, and we have our text in the middle. You can't see the text that great, but we will bring the text out a little bit more. But overall, that looks really good. So the next thing we want to do now is select our layer with our text. Once you have selected the layer with your text, you now need to go up to filters, and we now need to go down to light and shadow, and you now need to select drop shadow. As you can see straight away, it has dropped a slight shadow on my text, and you now have a few different options to play with. I'm just going to have a little play around for a second until we like the look. Once you are happy with your shadow, which I am, we can then click on this little plus next to presets. And we can now just call this, let's just go new shadow, and press OK, and press OK. We can now go on to our other text, which is tutorials, and then we can go back to filters, and we can then go back to light and shadow, and select drop shadow. We can then select presets and select new shadow, and there we go, it's applied the same shadow, which is great. If you need to move the text slightly, because the shadow is now, as you can see, on the white line, all you need to do is select the text, select your move tool, and just simply move the text up a little bit. There we go. Okay, I'm happy with all that. That looks very, very good now. Once you have done all that, the next thing we want to do now is sort out this background. The first thing you need to do is just simply delete that layer with the YouTube template. There we go, we now have the default background that Gimp creates. And as you can see on the right hand side here on my image, I will sort this out for the template, but I haven't actually gone all the way over, and that needs sorting. So just be careful when you are editing the images. Right, the next thing we need to do is just change the background colour, and actually I kind of like that blue that I have already selected, but to change the colour all you need to do is select your bucket tool, and then make sure you have the background selected on the layers on the right hand side, and then you can select a colour. But like I said, I actually kind of like this blue. I can try and select another colour. Let's go with green and see how that looks. There we go. But yeah, I'm going to stick with the blue, and that is it for this video. That is how you make a Fortnite YouTube banner. I hope this tutorial has helped, and if you do have a GIMP tutorial or a banner that you'd love to see me do, then please comment below or make a post on my forum, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more computer sluggish tutorials. Don't forget to check out my social media channels and forum.